is what is your expertise? What are the things in your role that give you expertise on? Because we know, we think we know, but we want to hear it from you first.
Sure, okay. So as the superintendent of schools, one of the things that I try to do is help keep all of the things that we do with our schools moving forward and trying to create the best possible opportunities for our students as possible. Whether that's from a technology standpoint, a curriculum standpoint, finances, staffing, you name it, as the superintendent, you do it all. And that even includes the building, and what you're trying to do here today is research on 21st century technology learning environments.
Okay. All right, who wants to go first? There's a lot of really good questions out here, Dr. Wolf.
So yeah, let's just go around. I mean, it doesn't have to be real formal. If you got a question, just shoot one out.
So, could you give us suggestions for collaborating together?
Sure. Well, I think first off, when we think about technology, what you really need to think about is technology as a tool. And when you think about collaborating, there's a lot of ways you can collaborate using technology. The way that you're sitting today in tables, that's one way to collaborate without technology. But, you know, as you probably know, you can go online and you can use your Google Docs, and you can share files in Google Docs and work together that way. You can work together on a project. And I think one of the things when we talk about collaboration and how do we do this, I think it's important to think about the reason why we're doing this. And when we get out into the real world, hopefully all of you are planning on graduating high school and then either going on to get a four-year college degree or a trade. And when you get out into the real world, what you're going to find is people work together. They work in teams. And so when we talk about using technology to work in teams, that's probably the key thing that you can use your technology for, I think. So how about another question? How about over here on this side of the room? Yeah.
If you could go back in time, what would you change about your classes?
Well, that's interesting that you should ask that. When I was teaching, I started out as a social studies teacher, and then about my third year of teaching, we needed a computer applications teacher. And so my principal knew that I had a minor in computer-assisted instruction from the University of Illinois, so she asked me if I would be willing to teach those classes. And so this was back in the 90s when the internet was just really starting to really pop. But one of the things that I started to do in my classroom when I was teaching was I started to use online evaluation forms. And basically, I would let the students evaluate me. And you know, I didn't do that until about my fourth or fifth year of teaching. But one of the things that I found out by listening to students giving me feedback, I became a much better teacher. And so I would go back, if I could do it again, I would have worked within my district to kind of help improve that process so all teachers could get feedback from students, because it's so beneficial to get that feedback, to know what you're doing well, what you need to improve on, and then the next time you plan a unit, you can go out there and do it even better. It's a great question. And I think, you know, just with that answer, tying that back into the first answer, you know, that's again that collaboration. We're all working together. Your teacher's working with you, trying to help you, and you know, even now, you know, my real belief is, you know, we're all working to help our students be successful. Our goal for you is probably the same one your parents' goal is, which is to help you not only get a great education here in the Hayward schools, but we're also out there trying to help you be ready to be successful in life. Because you're only gonna be here for 12 years, right? 12th grade, you're gonna graduate, you're gonna move on. And the skills that we teach you, hopefully are gonna prepare you to be successful no matter what you do the rest of your life.
What skills do you think will be needed in 2020?
Okay, what skills will we need in 2020? Are you talking about technology skills, or are you talking about just general overall
General
skills?
skills.
Okay. I think,
And the reason why we picked 2020 is that that's when we graduate from high school, that's when we leave here.
oh, that's awesome, man. 2020, that is so cool. All right, I think, so 2020, I think the skills that you're gonna need really are the skills that you're probably talking about right now. The ability to get along with other people, the ability to think critically about whatever it is you're studying. And when I say think critically, what I'm talking about is you're not looking for the right or wrong answer in your textbook. You're looking at facts, you're looking at evidence, and then you're forming an opinion based on that evidence. And if somebody asks you why you believe something, you can go back to the evidence and you can share with them, this is why I believe that. And you know, something else that I really do believe, I believe that we do need to be thinking about preparing our young people, yourselves, for the future and what you're going to need to use in terms of technology. And while I don't think everybody in this room should be a computer scientist or a computer coder, I do think that one of the things that you're going to see here in the Hayward schools, and not just here in the Hayward schools, but really throughout the country, you're going to see more emphasis on some of the higher level computer coding type skills, where you would be learning how to do things like program video games, using technology to create new products, whether it's a video, whether it's a commercial, whether it's just a little 30-second introduction of who you are. I think those things are going to be more and more important in the 21st century, and so those are things that I think we need to be emphasizing in schools. So, how about somebody else that hasn't asked a question yet? Yeah.
What do you think technology would be like in 2020?
Oh, man. 2020. It's hard to say, but I think that, you're gonna have you're gonna have smartphones and computers that are just gonna be so much more powerful than they even are today. You're starting to see this with things like Siri, where you just pick up your phone and you ask it a question and it'll spit the answer back out to you. I think from a hardware standpoint, I think you're also going to see keyboards that are going to pop out like a little piece of paper, and you'll probably pop it open and you'll be able to do your keyboard just right off the air, just like that. I mean, it'll be really lightweight, fit in your pocket, and then expand out. I think, though, getting back to the skills, I think the skills are going to be somewhat the same. I think you're going to have to be able to work together with other people. I think you're going to have to be able to critically think. I think you're going to have to be creative. I think you're going to have to be able to look for evidence and form your opinion based on evidence. I'm going to sit down.
One of the things that we have to do as part of a proposal when we seek funding to transform our room, Dr. Wolf, is that we have to design a budget within our proposal. From what we understand of superintendency roles, you have a heavy hand in understanding the budget. Can you give us some advice in constructing a good budget?
Yeah, I think Oh, constructing a budget, I think, is, it's gonna be kind of a challenge. And the reason it's a challenge is because right now, as probably all of you know, there are limited resources. So the thing that we need to do is we need to prioritize what are the most important things that we're doing in our schools. And then when you're talking about creating your room or creating your 21st century learning environment, you need to be able to really identify what are those skills that you're going to be able to improve upon because of this redesign of your room. So whether it's you're going to be able to collaborate more easily, whether you're going to be able to work with other students in other classrooms or other places in the world, I think all of those things are very important. And I think the other thing that I think I would encourage all of you to do is I think there are probably some grants out there that we really look and try to find some grants that will help us find sources for funding for some of these innovative projects that you're talking about. And I think that's where, as superintendent and you as students, you know, you need to go onto the web probably and start looking for those types of opportunities, because I think they're out there. It's just a matter of us being able to find them and really justify the need for them. Yes, sir.
Do you think kids will learn better with the new change in the classroom?
I do. I think that kids will learn better because they're going to be more engaged. And I really believe that kids that are interacting with one another, that are encouraging one another to really do their best, are taking advantage of opportunities to set goals and go after goals themselves in the classroom, those students are more motivated to be successful. And you know, one of the things that I hope that you all are really thinking about is, okay, what kind of learner am I? Am I the kind of learner that sits back and just takes everything in? Or am I the kind of learner that asks questions and then goes out and seeks to find the answers? And so when we talk about a 21st century classroom, it's about creating that environment for those students to go out and ask more questions and to pursue their own learning goals. And I think that's a big part of it as well. Do you have a question?
What are some methods that you can describe?
Can you be a little bit more specific?
Are you,
What are you thinking?
is for example, thing maybe
Basically, can you describe methods for like making the budgets actually more useful? Because if you have a long string of numbers, it's not really useful.
Okay, sure. I think one of the things that when you're thinking about setting your budget, I think you would want to really, again, start out with why are you doing it? And have a very clear reason as to why you're doing whatever it is you're planning on doing. And so then once you've figured out the why, then you can tie in the what. And what is it that you want to do? What is it you want to purchase? What is it you want to have in the classroom that you're going to use? And when you combine the why and the what, I think then you're going to have a very compelling reason to have that change in your classroom, whatever it is you're asking for. Yes, sir.
What are some ways to raise money to expand our